We use a different login to like do this actually.
Okay, good evening. I now call to order the regular board meeting of the Board of Trustees of Oak Grove School District on November 14th, 2024 at 5:03 PM. May I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as submitted?
I motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Continue. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, the agenda has been approved as submitted. The board at this time will recess to closed session to discuss consideration of public employee discipline, release, and dismissal, Government Code Section 5495-7. Confer with labor negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 5495-7.6, and consideration of pupil services matter pursuant to Education Code Sections 3514-6 and 4891-8. Persons wishing to speak to the board on closed session items may use the raise your hand Zoom feature to speak. Please reference the agenda in your public comments. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Is there anyone to speak on closed session items at this time? Okay, seeing none in person, we will now recess to closed session and to return at approximately 5:04. Thanks so much. 5:06. Oh, 6:04, excuse me.
Okay. All right, thank you. I think I've been deleting things out of my calendar that I don't mean to.
It might be, what is that?
Freudian slip or something
Freudian
like
slip?
that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like.
I definitely,
Yeah, he told me to just, to wait. Yeah. They're back there already? Okay. Hi. He told me to wait. He said he was gonna text me when they were ready. I can wait closer, but he said he was gonna text me.
Okay, welcome everyone to the regular board meeting of November 14th. There are many opportunities for the public to address the board, public comment, or during a specific agenda item. If you wish to If you are joining the meeting on Zoom, please select the raise your hand feature in order to have your first, followed by Zoom attendees. When it is your turn to speak, minutes. The Brown Act governs meetings of governmental bodies in California. Your comments to the board must be specific to the agenda. This is not a public forum or a public debate. Member Pacheco, will you please provide us the land acknowledgement?
I would like to acknowledge that the Oak Grove School District is located on the Muwekma Ohlone Nation's ancestral lands, and that these lands are unceded, and that it's important for us as an educational agency, as a community of students, teachers, and parents, board members, administrators, to always remember the importance of our Indigenous neighbors, and the importance of Indigenous history, both past, present, and future, and do everything we can to increase understanding and tolerance and respect between our Native American Indigenous communities and everybody else. So with that, I conclude my land acknowledgement statement.
Please rise. Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Chidas. The board met in closed session to discuss consideration of public employee discipline, release, and dismissal, Government Code Section 54957, and no action was taken. Confer with labor negotiator pursuant to Government Code Section 5495 7.6, and no action was taken. And consideration of pupil services matters pursuant to Education Code Section 3514.6 and 4891.8. And the Board of Trustees voted to expel student 24/25-01S through June 10th, 2025, and suspends enforcement of the expulsion order based upon a successful completion of the documentation of completion of rehabilitation requirements. Student 24/25-01S may petition Oak Grove School District or subsequent school districts for reinstatement at a comprehensive public school. Superintendent Chidas, will you please provide us your superintendent report?
Well, thank you, President Gonzalez and Board of Trustees, and to our audience that is here, present, and for those that are out there in the community on YouTube and Zoom, thank you all for being here today. Very exciting time, as always, being at our school sites. But first, I want to send out extend my heartfelt wishes to all of our veterans, and happy Veterans Day. Thank you all for your service, your dedication, your sacrifice to our country. I am very grateful. I have many family members, many friends who do serve. And so always grateful for what they do to protect our freedoms and uphold our values. So thank you all for your service. On October 19th, we had our 23rd annual Latinx Student Recognition Ceremony on that Saturday. I want to thank Vice President Hernandez, who was there attending the event. Very beautiful event that was sponsored by iLIDE. We recognized and celebrated 847 students. And we also recognized some of our teachers, who I see one over here. Congratulations. Just a beautiful event, very classy event. Everyone's dressed up. And we had Frankie Robles, who was our DJ. So he was mixing it up there, who's currently our manager of facilities and operations and transportation. But just thank you all for that event. It's always nice to recognize our students. And about students, on October 24th, I hosted my very first meeting with our student reps, our student advisory council, who provide me feedback, ideas in terms of how we can continue to make our district better. Today, we actually met again for the second time, and today they gave feedback to our child nutrition services. So we spoke about food today. Very exciting topic. They gave us menu recipe ideas, what they like. You know, today they said, you know, I wish the rice wasn't as soft. Maybe put a little bit more salt in the rice. They were saying, can we have triangle pizza instead of just square pizza? Can we bring back tacos, the hard shell tacos? Because right now we just get taco bowls. So the students, they are customers. So it was very nice to get some feedback from our students. But they also learned about the rules, about, you know, there's a lot of things that are regulated in terms of the 5 food groups and how much sodium and how much fat, how much dairy. So I learned a lot. I was like, wow, okay, there's a lot of regulations here. And we also serve a little over 9,000 meals every day, district-wide. And so that was very educational, and thank you, students, for the feedback. And I also want to thank our manager, Terry Anaya, who was there, and our school service, Sodexo School Services Operation Manager, Karis Galisi, who was there as well. So thank you to the team for presenting. One of the nice things about our district is that we, at the executive team, we visit all the school sites throughout the year. And it's very rare, very unique for all 4 of us to have the time at the same time and visit all the school sites for about 2 hours and engage with our staff, our teachers, our students all together. And so we have been able to do quite a bit of visits. This past week, we went to Parkview Elementary School. It was, you know, great job out there. The school looked great, a lot of excitement. And actually, there was one of the students said, excuse me, how's your dog Kevin doing? And I'm like, how do you know Kevin? Because I was a keynote speaker at the Student Awards, and I mentioned him, and it caught me off guard. I was like, I was not expecting that in the 6th grade class about this little guy. He's pretty popular now. Also had the opportunity to go to Taylor. We all went to Taylor. Great visit at Taylor Elementary. School looks great. Indigo as well. We went out to Indigo to meet with students. So I want to thank Mark Evans, Gabe Altamirano. The students are continuing to have a proposal there on more shade. So they want more shade. So we went out there with our team, our facilities team, to see what's possible in terms of shade structures. And then yesterday, I was able to be a guest speaker over at Baldwin Elementary in their 6th grade class on looking at their designs on their STEAM prosthetic design builds. Very engaging, the students. I'm always impressed on how creative they are. So thank you out there to the 6th grade Baldwin teachers for inviting me. And I would love to go back again next year. Please invite me again. And then last year, on October 24th, here in this room, we had our community parent groups together. They engaged with our executive team. We had our district advisory committee, also known as DAC, our home to school club, PTA, PFA presidents. We had ABLA, our Hispanic advisory president, and then our African American coffee clutch coordinators. And we were all together in this room. It was packed. It was beautiful. And we were able to really engage in terms of how do we continue to advance our district forward, not only at the school sites, but district-wide. So that, and I also want to thank our principals, because our principals were here to introduce each of their site representatives. So thank you, principals, for making time. And last, I want to, we made, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've been doing these videos every month, right? So every month we've been having a video to showcase what's happening out at our school sites. So we made one around our core values that was filmed over at Oak Ridge. This past month, we made a video on our curriculum. What does our curriculum look like? We recorded at Edenville Elementary. This month, we made one around our community groups. Next month, we'll be at Burnell filming around the LCAP, and what does the 5 goals of the LCAP look like in the classroom around counseling, band, sports, curriculum. So what we're showing our community is what does it look like in real time, in action? So a lot of voiceover, some drone footage. And for this video, which I want to show you, it's not public yet, you're going to be the very first here. We want to show how we're engaging with intentionality our community. So this video here is part of my superintendent's report, which was the last thing, is to show how we engage our communities at the school site, but also at the district level with intentionality. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick, and then it's about 2 minutes long. And the students always get pretty excited when I say that we have a YouTube channel. They're like, "We have a YouTube channel?" I go, "Yes." They love YouTube. And so today I was able to share with our students that they are YouTube famous and that one day we're going to have 1 million viewers. So that's our goal. So let's see here. Okay. All right, just trying to, when we were in COVID, I was really good at using Zoom. It was really quick. I remember our board, most of our board here being able to, we had all of our meetings in Zoom. Okay, share sound. All right. Sorry about that. I was trying to be innovative, but here we go, learning by doing. Okay, Sheila might need your help, but okay, if you can turn the lights, let's see. Can you see that? Okay. Okay. Or John, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Right here.
Yeah, sure. This window?
Oh, no, no.
Sure. Sure.
All right, here we go. Okay, the lights. Okay. Oak Grove School District Committee, we are so grateful for your contributions to our staff, students, families, and community partners. You are all vital to advancing the academic experience for every student. Our school district is very unique in that we intentionally engage our families and community in both school and district-wide committees to receive feedback and ideas. Thank you all for your ongoing support and participation. We appreciate your dedication and collaboration throughout the school year.
One of the things I really appreciate about being a parent in Oak Grove is just all the opportunities for authentic two-way communication between us as families and the district office. So whether that's volunteering for some of the formal committees or just a lot of informal opportunities to connect, share ideas, get questions answered, like the ongoing coffee chats with our superintendent or just the parent informational sessions that happen throughout the year.
Me enorgullece saber que Oak Grove manda boletines semanales donde informan a nuestra comunidad los acontecimientos que están pasando, las medidas que van a tomar para mejorar el estudio académico de nuestros hijos y como papás cómo nos podemos involucrar. También tenemos la aplicación Parent Square donde nos mandan noticias diarias, incluso las escuelas y el distrito para que sepamos los acontecimientos nuevos.
All the teachers from TK to now 3rd grade have some aspect of social and emotional learning. I think that really is profound because in the future, that'll be the differentiator for the students that we hire out of school will be that ability to navigate social and emotional experiences. So that's what I'm most proud of, and it's something that stands out when it comes to Oak Grove School District.
Well, when it comes to my school, one thing I'm really proud of is how we engage our community. We do a lot of different volunteer opportunities. We do a lot of community events, things like movie nights, bingo. We have a huge event called the Harvest Festival.
Para mí, primeramente, me orgullece formar parte de la escuela del distrito de Oak Grove como padre y como empleada, porque yo soy madre de 4 hijos y 3 de mis hijos están en la universidad. Para mí, el distrito de Oak Grove ha formado un grande parte para toda mi familia, como empleada, como madre, como amiga de toda la comunidad.
Our district is beautifully diverse, and it's something that I really value. It's something that my family was looking for our students, and I know that it is something that's honored and held and appreciated by all of our district leaders and school leaders.
I wish you all a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Together, we rise.
All right, well, that concludes my report, and I do wish you all a happy Thanksgiving break, and thank you to our employees, our staff, teachers. You all deserve take 5 days off in a few weeks here. So thank you both for your leadership. President Gonzalez, that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Superintendent Chidas. Is it on? Yes, okay. That will move us on to public comment. This is the opportunity for individuals to address the board on any school-related issue which is not a part of this evening's agenda. Are there any individuals who wish to speak to the board at this time? First, we have Bob Perla.
My time can't be up already. Good evening, board. Thank you for this opportunity to address you. I wanted to talk today about a concern that has been growing in this district, and it has to do with special education contracting. I had a very productive conversation with Amy Bowles the other day with Luis and I, and we talked about a lot of our concerns. And right now, within the OGEA bargaining unit, there are 18 contracted out positions. These include school psychologists, these include RSP teachers, these include SDC teachers, and a whole lot of speech and language pathologists. Now, this doesn't sound like such a big concern at the outset when you just think of it like, what's the big deal? But the problem with contracting these positions is that these people come in and they don't have long-term investment in our school, right? They're taking a contract for a year, here today, gone tomorrow. They also don't have the job security, which entices employees to stay around. And in special education, job security is especially important, right? Sometimes you need to be able to stand up for the rights of a student. And if you don't have job security, how are you going to do that? That is something that is of utmost importance to an employee who is representing some of the most vulnerable students that we serve. So I would hope that the board would take that very seriously. And the reason I'm bringing this up in public comment, again, we did have a very good conversation with Amy Bowles the other day, but we're going to need school board support. OGEA going forward is going to be making proposals around how to change this, how to attract and actually retain our staff in special education and in all of Oak Grove. But it is a problem that is an ongoing concern and it needs to be addressed. It needs to be solved. And I would ask for the board's support in doing this. By the way, it's not just OGEA that has contracting concerns. There are many other employees that should be a part of the CSEA bargaining unit. So I'll speak up, just mention that as well. So it's something to please keep in mind going forward. And please see what you can do to help us address this, especially when it comes to bargaining in the future, which we will start in January. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Jorge Prado.
Good evening. Here we are again. Action is the antidote to despair. Joan Weiss. 3 years ago, I had the honor to be in this mic. And we came with an idea that former President Pacheco support. And I had the honor to work with former Madam President Hernandez and with Madam President Gonzalez in the resolution 1378-05-21. Here we are, 3 years later and 6 months with Project 2025, which is quite scary. This resolution is on denouncing the hate crimes against the Latino community and a call to end of separation of children for their families, unjust immigration practices, and generational trauma. Here we are, once again, whatever the reasons the country had to have former 45, now 47. But the fear in the community, particularly the Latino community, is increasing every day. And if you go to our schools, you will feel that fear. You will feel the insecurity that is happening. And after a lot of whereas, therefore it will be resolved that the Oak Grove School District stands firmly against the discrimination and violent attacks against the Latino community, and it stands firmly against the dismission of the contributions and cultural, economic, social significance of the Latino community. Por lo tanto, se resuelve que el Distrito Escolar de Oak Grove se opone firmemente a la discriminación y los ataques violentos contra la comunidad latina y se opone firmemente a la disminución de las contribuciones y la importancia cultural, económica y social de esta comunidad latina. I urge what is coming, alas, some of you are leaving us, to make this resolution come back, although it's there, to bring it back again for next year. Because the fear is real. What is going to happen? I don't know. Everything, anything, who knows? But the fear is there. And the community is feeling this every day. They might not talk to you. They might not come and express that fear. So I'm taking the liberty of be the voice again on defense of my community, my people, my race in this board that is practically Latina, with all due respect to Member Yuen. So we have to do something. Sorry for the time, because this project is quite scary. Thank you so much for the time. Alas, Madam President, we love to have that picture with you one of these days, I hope. Thank you to the three of you for allowing me to work with you. Thank you all for your patience.
Thank you so much. That'll close. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any public comment on it? Okay, and seeing none, that'll close out our public comment and bring us to bargaining unit comment. Do we have any reports from any of the representatives? Please.
Oh, thank you, President.
Want to take it?
Yeah, well, you don't know how. Thank you, President.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees. I would like to take a moment to recognize the positive collaboration between OGSD and OGEA as we begin our bargaining process. The groundwork laid through initial sunshine items and clear planning timeline demonstrates our shared commitment to open communication, and we look forward to a fair and productive negotiation. One critical area of focus for both OGSD and OGEA is finding ways to retain and attract SDC staff. This has been a particular challenge, and we are actively exploring solutions to support and strengthen these essential roles in our schools. During recent visits to various sites, I observe a positive atmosphere across campuses, with strong supportive relationships developing between staff and administrators. This sense of unity is vital for a healthy learning environment. It is clear, however, that we must continue to invest in training new administrators so that they're well prepared to handle the day-to-day challenges they encounter, particularly in managing student behavior. This will allow our teachers to focus on what they are truly passionate about, teaching. Supporting our SDC classes remains a high priority, especially in ensuring students are placed in the least restrictive environment possible and that we continue to address concerns related to violent student behavior. Protecting both the safety and well-being of students and staff is essential. We also need to closely monitor teacher caseloads, balancing the time they dedicate to IEPs with the time required for lesson planning and preparation. Having been a teacher at Edenvale, I have personally experienced the importance of wellness centers in our schools. These centers are invaluable for providing students with essential mental health support, which helps them succeed in their studies and allows teachers to focus on delivering quality instruction. As educators work through the new math curriculum adoption, I have heard the need for additional time to collaborate and explore the resources this program offers. Providing this time will allow them to implement the curriculum fully and effectively for the benefit of all our students. Lastly, I want to share an update from the OGSD Community Schools Steering Committee, which met this week. Together with Janae Enna, Laura Demarie, Sky Johnson, Nathan Pham, Charles Baylott, and myself, we discussed our next steps in preparing the grant application due on February 9. So we are on a tight timeline. We look forward to engaging with community members, administrators, and staff on December to ensure our application reflects the needs and goals of our entire community. Thank you all for your ongoing dedication to our students and schools. Together, we are building a stronger, more supportive educational environment. Thank you, Board of Trustees.
Thank you. Do we have any other representatives who wish to speak at this time? Okay, none online. That will bring us to consent agenda. Superintendent Chayes.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the consent agenda as presented.
May I have a motion in a second?
I move that the Board of Trustees approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Any board discussion? May we have a roll call vote?
Member Yu,
Aye.
Member Martinez,
Aye.
Member Pacheco,
Aye.
Vice President Hernandez,
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. And that brings us to our action items. First up, action item 6.1, annual organizational meeting scheduled for Tuesday, December 17th. Superintendent Chayes.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. This evening, in accordance to Education Code 35143, the Board of Trustees of each school district is required to hold an annual organizational meeting. The board will notify the county superintendent of schools of the date and time selected for this meeting. It is recommended that the board adopt the annual organizational meeting date of Tuesday, December 17th, 2024.
May I have a motion in a second?
I move that the board adopt the annual organizational meeting date of Tuesday, December 17th, 2024.
Second.
Is there any public comments at this time?
No.
Okay, seeing none in person or online, is there any board discussion?
None, thank
Okay,
you.
may we have a roll call vote?
Member Yu,
Aye.
Member Martinez,
Aye.
Member Pacheco.
Aye.
Vice President Hernandez,
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. Action item 6.2, initial bargaining proposal from Oak Grove Educators Association to Oak Grove School District for successor contract negotiations. Superintendent Bowles, Associate Superintendent Bowles, excuse me.
Thank you, President Gonzalez. So as President Velasquez alluded to earlier in his comments, we really are excited for kicking off our negotiation season with the Oak Grove Educators Association. We look forward to coming to the table in collaboration and discussing interests, and also in a spirit of just openness and problem solving, what we can do as we are looking forward to opening up a successor agreement here with OGEA. So this is the time where, even though we've already started some collaborative conversation at this meeting, we officially kick off, shine some light and sunshine the proposals that from OGEA, the Oak Grove Educators Association. They're the exclusive bargaining representatives of our certificated district employees. And so whenever initial bargaining proposal is received by OGA, it shall be presented at a public meeting of the governing board and thereafter shall be public record. So again, this is our opportunity to sunshine and bring light to this to our public. Their sunshine articles include 9 articles. Article 1, preamble and recognition. Article 8, leaves. Article 11, transfer, assignment, reassignment, and exchanges. Article 12, compensation. Article 13, health and welfare benefits. Article 14, hours of employment. Article 15, class size and staffing ratios. Article 16, safety conditions, and Article 22, miscellaneous provisions. The sunshining of these articles also fosters a spirit of honesty, openness, and mutual confidence that will allow the bargaining parties an opportunity to advance the goals of the district while enhancing the working conditions of its employees. So it is recommended tonight that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the initial bargaining proposal of the Oak Grove Educators Association to Oak Grove School District and set a date for a public hearing of the proposal for December 12th, 2024.
Thank you so much, Associate Superintendent Bowles. May I have a motion in a second?
I move that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the initial bargaining proposal of the Oak Grove Educators Association to Oak Grove School District and set a date for a public hearing of the proposal for December 12th, 2024.
Second.
Do we have any public comments at this time? Bob, go ahead.
Okay, this will be my last public comment for tonight, but you know that when the negotiations are coming up, I'm going to say something. And the main thing that I want us to realize is that when we attract and retain employees, we need to be offering a competitive health benefits package. And right now, our health benefits package in January, and I know I've said this before, is getting steadily less competitive. When somebody gets a raise and then they immediately pay that raise out to their health benefits, they don't get a raise. And so that's what just happened in Oak Grove. And I appreciate the board and the administration working with us to come up with an MOU to offset and mitigate some of that. But we need to move forward and we need to move beyond that when we get to the negotiations phase. Additionally, you're going to need to look hard at how is it that we can free up money to keep our salaries competitive in Santa Clara County, right? There are other school districts that are paying more money than we are. How many teachers are we prepared to lose as they jump ship to go get more money elsewhere? So again, these are all things to keep in mind. And I want the board to recognize that and to recognize that we live in one of the highest cost of living areas in the country, right? Higher cost of living than most other places in the country. And we need to be able to have our teachers and our educators and our professionals be able to afford to live where they work. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And with no public comment online, is there any board discussion? No? Okay, then we have a roll call vote.
Member Yu,
Aye.
Member Martinez,
Aye.
Member Pacheco,
Aye.
Vice President Hernandez,
Aye.
President Gonzalez.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and that brings us to our last action item, 6.3, initial bargaining proposal from Oak Grove School District to Oak Grove Educators Association for successor negotiation, contract negotiation. Superintendent Bowles.
So following the sunshine proposals for OGEA to OGSD, now I'd like to present the sunshine articles that OGSD would like to propose to OGEA in upcoming negotiations. We have 8 articles to sunshine for your consideration. It's Article 8, leaves, Article 10, evaluation procedures, Article 11, transfer, assignment, reassignment, and exchanges, Article 12, compensation. Article 13, health and welfare benefits. Article 14, hours of employment. Article 15, class size and staffing ratios. And Article 16, safety conditions. So this is our opportunity to shine light on the articles that OGSD has an interest in bringing to the negotiation tables with Oak Grove Educators Association. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the initial bargaining proposal of the Oak Grove School District to the Oak Grove Educators Association and set a date for a public hearing of the proposal for December 12th, 2024.
I move that the Board of Trustees acknowledge receipt of the initial bargaining proposal of the Oak Grove School District to the Oak Grove Educators Association and set a date for a public hearing of the proposal for December 12th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, and is there any public comment? And board discussion? Okay, may we have a roll call vote?
Member Yu,
Aye.
Member Martinez,
Aye.
Member Pacheco,
Aye.
Vice President Hernandez,
Aye.
President Gonzalez. Motion carries.
Thank you so much. And so at this time, I am going to pass it over to Vice President Hernandez. As you can see, I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm going to go ahead and excuse myself for tonight. Thank you so much. And Vice President Hernandez will take it from here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Feel better, President Gonzalez. So at this time, that does conclude our action items for the night, leading us to our first information item, 7.1, 2023-24 financial audit reports. Superintendent Chaitis, if I can please pass it to you to introduce this item.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Hernandez. This evening, we have our financial audit reports. I do want to acknowledge our Business Services Division for a job well done. And I also want to thank our Associate Superintendent Evans for his leadership, and I'll pass it over to Associate Superintendent Evans.
Thank you, Superintendent Chaitis. Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees. According to Ed Code, each year we have to do a financial audit of our general funds, and we also do audits of the bond funds. We have Measure S, which is still outstanding, but now closing, and Measure P. Eid Bailey is our auditing firm, and we have Ahmad Garibay here tonight to speak with us about the condition of the district's financial reports and the audits. And again, I'd like to echo Superintendent Chaitis' thanks to the Fiscal Department Director Melina Nguyen and Manager Ruth Martin for navigating the team through a very thorough investigation and audit from the firm. And I think it all went quite well. I'll let you take over, Ahmad.
Thank you. Good evening. This is the annual financial report for the district. We are the independent external auditors for the district. The scope of the audit is to ensure the financial statements are fairly stated. It is effectively an affirmation of what management had previously presented to you in the form of SACs or unaudited actuals. We come in after the fact. It's a process of confirming the amounts that are reported on the financial statements. We confirm your cash, your debt, your various receivables, various revenues, your revenue limit. We split the audit into 3 phases. The first phase is the interim phase in which we look at the internal controls. We look at the manner that you process receipt, the manner you process disbursement, the manner that you process payroll. We like to see segregations and review processes in there. Management closes the books. We come in after, confirm the balances. And then the third phase is the reporting phase in which we ensure that these financial statements are in compliance with the accounting and reporting standards. Along with that, you receive federal and state funding. So they ask you to ask us to do an audit of your federal compliance along with your state compliance. And then you passed a couple of Proposition 39s, Measure S and CC, P. Thank you. And so these audit requirements is to segregate the funding for those 2 measures away from the district funds, ensuring that the bond proceeds, related interest, related expenses are segregated from the district's general fund, and then ensuring that the expenses in those measures are in accordance with what the voters had voted on. And so we said with your project managers, we look at the expenses in there. We ensure that they are in compliance with the ballot languages of those two measures. And with that, I'm pleased to let you know that we issued a clean opinion on all these different items I just described over here. Melina's not here today, but she was very helpful. Again, it's a confirmation, connect with third parties. She's always very helpful in making sure that we're connected to all the folks, your bank statements, various things out there. Again, it's a clean opinion that we issued on the financial statements. And with that, I'll be more than happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you so much for the report. Are there any public comments at this time? Okay. And then none in person. Are there any questions or comments from trustees at this time? Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Okay. So that concludes information item 7.1 with the financial audit reports, leading us to item 7.2, math curriculum implementation update. Superintendent Chaitis, if I could pass it to you.
Thank you, Vice President Hernandez. This evening, I'm happy to have our Assistant Superintendent, Anna, present an update on our newly adopted Envision math curriculum. But also, this is a follow-up and from the request from the board at our last board meeting, and where you wanted to see more about how it's going with our new curriculum and also the data, how are students doing currently, and then how are we supporting our teachers through professional development. So again, I want to thank the board for your vote in approving this newly adopted curriculum, which is a significant investment for our students for teaching and learning of math. So thank you to Janae, Assistant Superintendent Janae Enna, for your presentation.
All right, thank you, Superintendent Chaitis and Vice President Hernandez, members of the board. I will be sharing a little bit with you, a little bit of a recap from our adoption process as well as implementation, how it's going. With the adoption of the new California Mathematics Framework, Oak Grove School District moved to pilot and adopt high-quality instructional materials for mathematics that align with equitable, culturally, and linguistically responsive instructional shifts. Envision Mathematics curriculum, published by Savas, was adopted by the board on May 9th, 2024 at the regular board meeting, and materials were purchased and distributed for implementation to begin at the start of the 24-25 school year. High-quality instructional materials make a difference for teaching and learning. Studies show that the instructional core is the foundation for ensuring that kids are college and career ready and have the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in school and beyond. Through an exploration of the new math frameworks and research-based practices, this isn't advancing. Give me a second here. There we go. Our district curriculum team developed our Oak Grove School District Math Vision, and the core of the vision is that students in the classroom are engaged in productive struggle. They're learning from their mistakes and they're developing a growth mindset, that they're learning in environments that foster creativity, collaboration, academic discourse, play, and risk-taking, and that students are engaged with materials that are aligned to the 8 standards for mathematical practice. And they're aligned to the major shifts in the frameworks, including focus, coherence, and rigor. That they are engaging in experiences that are culturally and linguistically affirming, and language is at the heart of the work in mathematics. Our multilingual learners are well supported through scaffolding, differentiated instruction, and lots of language practice. Students are at the center of math instruction, and We want them to feel confident. We want them to, our vision is that they have that confidence, the care, and the agency and joy in our mathematics classrooms. So the vision, the Oak Grove School District Math Vision guided our pilot committee in selecting the criteria for evaluating pilot materials, and the committee felt unanimously that Envision mathematics would enable us to carry on the math vision. So implementation began in August with not only the materials, but with initial PD. Since we don't have a professional development day at the start of the school year, we use that first 2 hour, we use the first 2 hour staff development time with our elementary schools to have an online program activation training. That's kind of the nuts and bolts of the curriculum. And then on the November 1st Professional Development Day, we had in-person training for all of our teachers. It was a 3 hour PD. We also, in August, we also had in-person training for program activation for our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade math teachers. So the online piece of it was for K through 5, and we did in person. So we've had those so far. The feedback from the November PD day was overwhelmingly positive. Teachers were appreciative of being with other teachers across the district at their grade level to be able to collaborate with folks from other sites. They loved the presenters. They felt that the presenters were very knowledgeable and supportive, and they are overall enjoying their curriculum and learning all of the components. One teacher said, "Thank you so much for giving us our PD with effective and tangible learning information that we can take back to our classrooms. We would love more Envision math training for other PD days this year." So what do we have to offer in professional development, ongoing, and the future? Well, first of all, at any time, teachers can access professional development through an on-demand library of videos that they can access through their online dashboard. So if they have a question about something or want to see something live, they can see it on their on-demand video library. In February, we will have another professional development day, and that is something that centrally as a district, we're putting together offerings for math. It'll be kind of a choose your own adventure day. So there will be math offerings, there will be science, there will be some other things as well. But we will be able to go deeper with the language supports that are included in the curriculum on that day. Our English learner teacher partner, ELTPs or coaches, provide, this year they are at one of the staff meetings providing professional development that shows how the math framework supports multilingual learners and the comprehensive approach to learning, kind of the connection between those. So that's happening at the school sites. We also have 4 teachers who are participating in a professional development or professional learning cohort through Silicon Valley Mathematics Initiative. So what they bring back, we'll understand what through that cohort learning, how does that inform our practices and our curriculum. In addition, there are at the site grade level release days that teachers have to be able to collaborate with each other and plan. And there's also many sites in their professional learning communities, their PLCs have a focus around math. So that's where they go through the cycle of inquiry and they have time to collaborate on next steps and plan for their instruction. Just a few highlights about the Envision curriculum is one is that the curriculum, the lessons start with what's called a solve and share. So rather than the way I was taught math and maybe you is the teacher starts with by telling how to do it and then the kids get to practice and then they do it on their own. The first thing that students do is they get to put their heads together and try out a problem. They get to try to solve it. They get to try to share it. They get engaged in that productive struggle. and the academic discourse. Then the teacher goes in and helps and guides them with how to do it. There's differentiation time and materials built into each lesson. So one thing that teachers can also do is at that certain point in the lesson, when they're ready for the kids to go off on their own, they can assign a check for understanding online. They can assign it through Google Classroom. Kids can take the quick check for understanding, and it immediately feeds them into groups. So teachers can get instant real-time groupings. They pull their small group for that aspect of differentiation. There's all kinds of things that students can do during differentiated time. And there's a lot of, besides just a teacher's edition, there's a lot of resources for instruction. Teachers have access to Google slide decks for all of the lessons that they can change, create, make their own. They have animated videos that support the visual learning. There's a lot of different resources. So the curriculum success really hinges on those instructional practices and the pieces of the curriculum, that it's not just the materials that the kids have in front of them, but it's what is included, that the experiences that they have and what's included in the instructional supports. In the classroom, what you might see and what students are doing and learning is that they're learning to use a variety of strategies to represent and interpret and solve problems. So they have, all of the teachers received a big manipulative kit, so they can represent problems in different ways using manipulatives, using visuals. There's lots of time for partners and small groups. They really do engage in real world application. Every topic, it's kind of like a unit, has a STEM project, and it's actually a choice. They pick a project, so they can choose which STEM project they want to engage in, and it's something that takes them through the whole topic. They have 3-act math, which is research-based math problem-solving strategy, and then also an aspect called Let's Investigate, where it's more of an exploratory problem-solving strategy. They have all kinds of opportunities, as I've said, to develop math vocabulary. So explicitly, there's explicit math vocabulary taught, but it's also implicitly throughout the curriculum. And there are online resources in Spanish for newcomer students, and there are resources for Spanish-speaking families. In fact, for families, this curriculum has links for every grade level, every topic, every lesson, every day. There's a link to a family page where they can learn about what that lesson looked like, how to do problems. There's videos, and those are in English and they're in Spanish. Teachers can push those out to parents, send a link home on Parent Square. We're also working on putting those links on our website. All right, so some data, wanted to just revisit some data from the beginning of the year diagnostics. We shared the iReady data with you, but 7th and 8th grade math iReady data was not available because 7th and 8th grade this year are using the diagnostic and the assessments that are part of this curriculum. So we're trying that out because what happens is when they take the assessment inside of this curriculum, it populates the teacher dashboard and works together with the curriculum materials to help teachers understand which aspects of the curriculum will work best for the students based on their assessment data. So the idea behind that was that it's really helpful. So you're looking at 2 different assessments here. One is the diagnostic that more closely matches what the iReady is, kind of assessing them on the standards for the year and seeing where students are. It's similar to our iReady data. iReady for elementary school was at 25% meet or exceeding standards. Here it has about 28%. The other data that you're looking at is the screener assessment. So these are given to assess students that are ready to engage in this next section. So it's where's their readiness right now for this content that's coming up right now. So again, we're not looking at data that is assessing how they did on the curriculum. We're looking at initial diagnostic assessment, and we're learning from this. So we're learning from, it's called the MDSA, and we're just trying it in the 7th and 8th grades. We're going to get input along the way to see how it's going. But looking ahead, we do have our next assessment window coming up next month in December. So we'll be able to bring to you iReady and MDSA data in the coming year. Probably in January, we'll have all of that data ready to go.
MDSA, that's,
Math, diagnostic, and screener assessment.
so it's like iReady but for middle school is what you're saying?
It's iReady for, but it's the Envision product.
I see.
Yeah, for middle school. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Envision doesn't have something like that for elementary?
They do, but we weren't ready. We weren't ready to
Got it. Just
make
trying it out.
a huge shift like that. We're kind of testing it out and seeing if it's worth it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and then so also coming up, as I said, November 14th, we love professional development on, February 14th on Valentine's Day. We'll be giving a district-wide professional development with additional training opportunities. Also, we, with the Eastside Alliance, this is a partnership where district administrators are participating with the other feeder schools, school districts that feed into Eastside on vertical alignment with Eastside Union High School District on the math coursework that where will students land when they get to 9th grade. And that partnership is ongoing and it's monthly with the Eastside Alliance. Next summer, we will also have intervention for students with the Elevate Summer Math. And that's a partnership with Silicon Valley Education Foundation. And then ongoing this year, sites have funding for targeted after-school intervention, Saturday Academy, and intervention funds to support their students in their learning. So with that, I just want to thank you for letting me share with you some updates about our math curriculum and open it up to any questions at this time.
Any online comments or questions? Or not questions, but comments? Okay. Any comments? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I always
Go
have
ahead, member.
questions.
You. Thank you.
For the program activation, can you describe that a little bit more? Like what exactly did that entail?
Yeah, so that was like the basic overview of how the curriculum works. So kind of walk through what does a lesson look like from beginning to end, because there, like I said, there's different components. What is the solve and share? How do you, when you log on to the online teacher edition, where do you find things? So basically like how to, right? How to use the teacher edition, what's in there, where are your English learner supports, where are the, where are the assessments, how long should things take, where's the scope and sequence, all of those just program components and overviews. So teachers could comfortably get started with the curriculum until we got to our PD day where they could go deeper and really understand what it looks like, what all the components are. And it's, it takes time. It takes time for teachers to learn a comprehensive curriculum. And so that's why we want to keep ongoing professional development opportunities for them.
Mm-hmm. Great. So it sounds like they just got enough to just get started right at the beginning of the year. In regards to the assessments, I'm just curious, how often are the screeners and diagnostics being administered, and how long does it take to administer each of those?
The diagnostics fall in line with our same iReady so we have 3 windows for the diagnostics, and then the screeners, they're shorter. I'm not clear on how many times they're giving them throughout the year, but I'll get that information.
And it's something that the kids just they go on their devices and they just take it.
They do take them on their devices. All the assessments that are through Envision, there's an option for a pencil paper. So I'm not sure about the screener though, because you want the idea is for the teachers not to have to hand score it. But I know that there are paper pencil options for all the other assessments that are available. Checks for understanding, exit tickets, end of, unit, end of topic, all of the tools.
And then for the diagnostics, is it given to all students or only the students who are below grade level?
All students get the diagnostic.
And then my last question is, I know that the district has been doing work with Joe Bowler, so I'm just curious, is that still ongoing and how that's kind of connected to the math implementation?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've concluded our U-Cubed fellowship with Joe Bowler, but she still has a connection with some of our U-Cubed fellows, and actually one of them, one of our classrooms is going to be featured in her next upcoming book. So she's been on campus at Taylor in Sarah Nolan's classroom, doing some video, doing some observation and coaching, and it's been a wonderful experience. We're still in connection. Joe Bowler and the U-Cubed team are working on a grant to fund some upcoming work. So we'll look forward to seeing if that grant gets funded and if they'll continue to participate in Oak Grove.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions at this time? All right. Well, thank you so much again for your presentation. Associate Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent, Enna. I do want to just thank you for adding that information on how the professional development was received. I always think we find it impactful to hear directly from the staff and of course from parents and our students on how big transitions like this are going. And I appreciate that you're going to be bringing back some additional data in the new year so that we continue to monitor just the transition and again, the progress, especially with such big changes affecting so many of our neighboring districts with math curriculum in general. So thank you so much. With no further comments or questions from trustees, that does conclude our last information item of the night. Moving us to our closing items, 8.1 correspondence and board discussion. At this time, are there any members that would like to share?
Just that I had the pleasure of visiting my nephew's second grade class at Del Roble, and it was really adorable to see all the kids so excited, learning, engaged with their teacher, and who's Miss Lopez, Sandra Lopez, amazing teacher, shout out to you. And then lastly, the principal was also super welcoming, and we're very lucky to have him as his first year. So it was really a nice experience. And then thank you for, I guess, Oak Grove voters for voting me to join the Santa Clara County Board of Education. I'm really excited to join that board. And I'm really sad that this is going to be my second to last meeting. And but I'll save the tears for December.
Any other correspondence or share? Okay. Oh, all right. And just again, thank you. I know Superintendent Chavez had mentioned this earlier. I did attend the Hispanic Latinx Student Recognition Award ceremony and recognition of our staff as well. It was just so beautifully done. I think I forgot what words you used to describe it. It escapes me now, but it was just so well done and so beautiful. Oh, classy. That's what you said it was. And it was a really classy event where everyone was dressed up. And I think that's just foreshadowing, our students as the future graduates that we know that they're going to be. So again, just thank you so much for the hard work that went into organizing a beautiful event such as that. Such a great reminder of why we do this hard work. And so just a lot of gratitude for all of you. At this time, I will now entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right. Hearing none, the regular board meeting on November 14th, 2024 is adjourned at 7:03 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.